What's going on, Pokemon Go trainers? Welcome to the Lured Up Podcast Creator Roundtable Series for Go Snapshot, the third one. Go Snapshot, the third. I'm your host, Ken Pescatore, joined by my co-host, Adam Tuttle, somewhere in the sea of people that we have with us today, and we're going to go one by one around the room. But first, let's say hi to Adam, who is going to be helping me moderate some of this panel here. Adam, how are you?
I'm so excited to be here.
Your ward turtle is like warping into your face.
I know, it's okay. He's using Shell Shock, or no, it's a Skull Bash, something like that.
We have a massive panel here today that is decorated with a whole bunch of really talented and fantastic photographers, and I cannot wait to talk to everyone about their process and their philosophies and their content. It's really good. And we have a bunch of international people here today as well. And what's today? Today's Saturday, June 27th, but just barely, because it's just turned midnight. So we're making this work for all the international creators that we have on board. Thank you everyone for being here. So we're just going to go around the room really quick, say hi to everybody, then we'll come back around and get to know everyone a little bit better before we start talking about some Go Snapshot. All right, first, Ash Ketchup. What's up, dude? How are you, man?
Good morning, good night. Thank you for having me.
6 a.m. by you, right?
6 a.m. So I made it just for you.
It's so great, dude. Thank you so much. I'm very glad you're here, and I'm really excited that we're able to have you on the show again, man. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
Awesome. We have Tula the cat. Hi, Tula.
Hi.
She's rocking a badass Litten onesie that has got JC Pop Punk like. Look at him in the background.
He's fusing with Litten in the back.
But Tula, thank you so much for being here. We've got Palo is here as well. Palo, what's up, man? How are you?
Hola, how are you guys?
What's going on? Welcome.
Nothing much.
Nice. We've got Project Origato in the house. What's up, man?
What's up?
Welcome to the show. Excellent. Nico from Tokyo.
Hey.
What's going on, man?
Yeah, very good. Yeah, thank you very much for having me. So
the French guy from Tokyo.
Yeah, that's it.
That's awesome, man. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah.
We're spread out all over the place. Look, we've got Pokemon ARtographer. You're in Hawaii, right?
Yep. Welcome to the Alola region.
That's awesome. Alola. That's great. And then we have Hex Manifesto, who is on our first Go Snapshot Roundtable. What's up, man? Welcome.
How's it going? I almost was. I unfortunately
that's right. You were.
There.
That's right.
Had my second coming.
Well, we're glad to have you, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it.
I'm glad I'm here too, guys.
And then we have Anne with us. Anne, look, say your name for me so I can say it improperly. Say what is the screen name? Regatcha. I'm going to go with Anne.
That's fine.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome. I love the score bunny back there.
Thanks.
All right, who else? And then we have Bobby, Pokemon Snaps. What's up, my man? How are you?
What's going on? I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. That collage is looking legit.
Thank you very much.
That's pretty awesome. And then JC Pop Punk, he like just left and now he's back.
Here we go.
So look, I bet you he's gonna curse when he comes back on. Are you there, Justin?
Fuck you. Dude, literally this shit just shut down on me. It just stopped. I was like, did it crash?
That's it. No roundtable for you.
Apparently. Fine. All right, whose turn? Sorry.
It's your turn, man. What's up?
Yeah, you came in clutch.
Hey, I'm JC, Pop Punk Pokemon. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone. Also, Bobby opened my fucking gift.
Oh, yeah, we have best friends today.
Every transact. Oh yeah, that's right. You guys hit besties today.
We will hit besties today.
That's right.
It will happen.
I am about to go
BFF forever.
Will you get the elusive lucky best friend?
Oh, dude, that would be
question.
That would be legit. That would be legit.
Bobby, I'm gonna be in San Diego in 2 weeks.
Oh shit, are you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm still isolating, so I don't know if I'll see you. But
I will come stand out your apartment because, bro, this little boy is gonna be yours.
Nice.
That's right. Okay.
All right, well, JC, man, let's start with you, dude. How are you? And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Okay, so I'm JC. I go as Pop Punk Pokemon on the interwebs. That is my Instagram channel. I first started just kind of posting AR photos for fun, and then all of a sudden it turned into a Go Snapshot playthrough of Pokemon Blue. And, well, I've been kind of working on something since then.
Awesome.
Ooh.
Well, I'm excited to see what that is because you always have some kind of madness up your sleeve or something. I don't know, man. You're always got some shit going.
Yeah.
It is starting tomorrow.
He's always so secretive. I'm like, yo, what are you up to? He's like, something, like rubbing his hands together. It's like,
Soon. Very soon.
I just
oh,
got a
that's
shiny
great.
Ninkata.
I like to undersell and overdeliver.
Congrats.
Oh my God, Palo, congrats!
I did it. Sorry.
What did Taylor do?
Another
You
one?
got shiny Ninkata just now.
Oh, you got
Yeah.
right now?
I'm gonna
Now?
name it Lured Up.
Oh my
Yes,
god!
Nice.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice.
Live on Lured Up, shiny Ninkata.
Dang.
Oh man, that's good stuff. All right, well, Palo, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
I am Pelo. I am a Mexican AR photographer. I'm sorry. I'm just having shiny shock. You know.
He's all
I
flustered.
completely understand that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so
Focus,
I'm
man,
Pelo.
focus.
I like to travel and take air photography while I'm traveling and meet a lot of friends. And I think the thing that's my favorite is the community aspect of Pokemon Go and of our Instagram community. So yeah, that's me.
Awesome. Yeah, we're definitely gonna talk about the Instagram community and kind of the way everyone here has developed this amazing. I don't know. It's bizarre. Like, we talk with raiders, we talk with battlers, we talk with YouTubers, podcasters, but it seems like without a doubt the Go Snapshot community definitely has the coolest and most tight-knit community for being this physical community that's spread out all over the world. I mean, it's, you guys really work together really well, and I think that's something to be super proud of, and we'll definitely get into that in a minute.
I love all you bitches.
Who else we got here? Ash Ketchum. Ash, what's up, man?
Good morning.
Look, so soft spoken, man. Well, I know it's 6 a.m., but
He's
Yeah,
got the
but-
ASMR mic.
yeah, I
You
mostly
haven't seen him at a Knuckle Puck show.
yeah, probably GC. But I mostly talk like this, so if it's morning or night, it's all the same. So yeah, I'm a SketchUp. You can find me with this name on Instagram, Twitter. I'm from Belgium, so it's now like 6 a.m. for me. It's better than last time, which was 4 a.m. So thank you, Ken.
Yeah, Ken.
Thank you. So I basically mostly also post like holiday pictures. Like when you scroll my Instagram, it will probably be a photo of Singapore or Spain. So yeah, so kind of the same like Pillow. Like we travel, we take photos, and we save them up, and we still post them 1 year after.
that's great. No, that's another thing that's really cool about the Go Snapshot community from a content perspective is when you're making art like this in a visual medium, it's kind of evergreen. You know what I mean? Like it's not like news of the week where, if you listen to it or consume that content a month out, that it has no relevancy or anything like that. That's one of the cool things that's neat about this medium. But Ash, thank you so much for being here, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tula, tell us about yourself. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm Tula the cat. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm mostly on Instagram. So I'm from Germany, and just like Ash, it's just 6 a.m. for me. And yeah, my photography is mostly based on bringing Pokemon into our world with as much interaction as possible. Like, I just want to show the typical Pokemon trainer spending time with this Pokemon. And yeah, that's what I do.
Now, I definitely appreciate that, and I've been playing around with that lately too, with taking pictures of just like the world going on in the background, and there just happens to be a Pokemon interacting with the world. So it gives you this cool dynamic of like what it could be like if Pokemon were actually walking around, you know, with us, which is really cool. But thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. All right, Project Origato. So let me give you a little backstory real quick. So I posted on Twitter that I was doing the roundtable, and we kind of had the panel laid out. And within 30 minutes of me posting that tweet, I get 2 messages from people in the community saying, yo, you got to check this guy out. You got to have him on the show. I checked out his work. I messaged him 5 minutes later. He's booked on the show. Welcome. What's up, man?
Yo, man, Ken. First of all, I can't thank you enough for having me on the show. I know all of you guys by your work. It's just, I've been following you guys since, I don't know, Ash, the Mew and the glass bubble thing. That was amazing.
So cool.
It just, like, I don't know. I guess all I can say is that, yeah, I'm a Mecca, Arigato, Atlanta Strong, AR, Rage, Shinies. And this is the first time, honestly, that I've been addressed as someone who takes pictures. I'm actually a health scientist by day, and Pokemon's my passion. So to be amongst you guys is like ridiculously dope. So proceed, Maestro. Let's go.
Excellent, excellent,
awesome.
man. Well, welcome. That makes me feel all fuzzy and stuff to know that.
Yeah.
No, this is cool, man. And a lot of times when we do these roundtables, I love to have a mix of different audience sizes on the show, because I think that's super important. Because when it comes to content, especially in the Pokemon Go world, it's very easy to fall into the trap of, oh my God, I only have this many followers or this many subscribers, or my video only got this many views or this many downloads, or I only got this many likes. And not for nothing, from an artistic perspective, those metrics suck. You know what I mean? Because the quality of the art can transcend the like count. And just because you have a shitty like count doesn't mean that you have shitty work. So it's like, I love bringing in a mix of audience sizes to help, you know, bring it all together. So we're welcome, man. We appreciate you being here. Nico, another recommendation from Ash, and said, hey man, we gotta step up the international flavor that we have going on here. He goes, I got this French guy that's from Tokyo. And I remember, I forgot what picture I saw of yours first. And this was prior to Ash letting me know about you. And then when I went back and looked at the link that Ash sent me, I go, oh my God, it's this guy. Like, you know, I started seeing your work and I started recognizing it, because you had this really, your photos looked very organic. Like the Pokemon they appear to be in the room with you. Like the lighting normalization and composition was really awesome. So welcome to the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, so, well, yeah, I'm French from Paris, and I lived in Japan now for about 15 years. So that's why I'm the almost Japanese, I would say. But so I I kind of like get into the community, of course, through Japan, and actually the AR community in Japan is very, very, very big with very good talent. And recently, of course, I tried to also explore outside, and this is how I discover most of you guys, through Instagram. But I started mostly on Twitter, which also I have 2 different accounts. I need to fix that because it's complicated. But I will. The idea of what I get into AR photography was, I was never really playing game before. I started with Pokemon Go, and I kind of like was very excited about how it brings out people together. And I wanted to also, from my background and, you know, my life and everything, bring the AR photography more into something, you know, like a lifestyle, like something, you know, not necessarily dedicating to gamers or, you know, or kids or anything like that, but really to bring it more to, you know, a lifestyle type of product. So that's how I think when I take pictures and I post online.
That's awesome. You know, something that I've been doing, and it's kind of taking people back, and I get funky comments every now and then, is I make sure when I take my photos, I'm tagging them with the town. I'm using the hashtags of the town and of the areas. So you have like business owners and locals seeing these photos and they're like, what the fuck is this? Like, this isn't like the Jersey Shore and it's like a picture of Starmie or something like that. They're like, what is this? And it always creates this really cool dialogue of connecting the dots between like the outside world and the art world and the photography world and the AR world and like the social world. So it's, I get that, man. That's a really cool concept and a great way to look at it. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Pokemon Artographer, ARtographer, another one that I've seen in my feed for a long time, and I always appreciate your work. And it was cool to hear that you're from Hawaii, and that makes sense now looking at all your photos. But welcome to the show, man. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thanks very much, Ken. First of all, I just want to say I'm like truly honored to be amongst this panel of just amazing artists. It's just a real honor to be here. I started ARtography about a year and a half, 2 years ago. I can't remember exactly, but it was mostly just kind of transition when they started the AR Plus, and I just wanted to fool around with it because it was just a cool, little aspect. You had the Pokemon in the real world, and now you can actually move around them and interact with them and see what's going on. And I just have a background in photo and video. I've done personal photo work, video work, and I've had a photo and video business did that for a number of years. So it just kind of became a natural process to turn my love and passion for Pokemon into a love and passion with photography to love and passion for Pokemon ARtography.
That's awesome. And that's another cool thing about Pokemon, that it can be the bridge to like a creative muse. You know what I mean? There's so many different ways to interact with the game, and this being one of the most creative facets of the game. So when you have a creative person, it's a natural outlet. So that's totally. Really cool. That's really, really cool. All right, who else we got here? Hex Manifesto. What's up, man? I love that freaking mobile, dude. Thanks,
man. I guess the reason all you guys have to deal with my sorry ass is Ash's fault. I'm one of the
my fault.
I'm one of the East Coasters, Charlotte, North Carolina, just a little bit north of Origato, and I live and work in the city. So the first 2 years of Pokemon Go, I don't think I ever took a single picture. I don't think I ever opened AR. Just rated everything. My collection was complete. I was just kind of looking for something to do, and I was just on Instagram one day, saw one of Ash's pictures just because of the Pokemon hashtag. I was like, that looks way better than what my AR looks like on my camera. What the crap? Why? I mean, I have a new phone, and then so I just sent him a DM. I was like, why do your pictures look so good? And he introduced me to Snapseed, and I just got kind of got obsessed with editing, just light edits and just making the pictures on that you guys see are mine and a lot of other people's final product just a little more like what our eyes actually see, because unfortunately the AR program doesn't quite capture what we see with our imaginations and like actually with the phone, because they just the kind of way it uses the screenshot instead of the actual camera. Right, it's not quite clear. So just taking those pictures and making them to like kind of what our imaginations see is just it's been really fun, and it's never stopped. Yeah, that's awesome, man. And we'll definitely talk about that. I definitely want to talk about the editing process and the different tools that people use and the differences in styles and how those styles can bring different, like varying levels of editing. And, basic edits, in-app edits, out-app edits, out of the phone edits, like all that stuff I want to get into in a minute. But that's awesome, man. And the fact that you said you work in the city, I mean, I think that comes across in a lot of your work because, it's very common in AR photography to see like beach scenes or nature or trees or landscapes. And it's like when you see graffiti and bricks as a backdrop, it's a nice touch. All right, we got Anne. Anne, how are you? With the rocking the Score Bunny, Team Score Bunny. That's awesome. How are you?
Hi guys. Yeah, I'm good. It's morning here, so still a bit tired. But all good. Thanks for having me again.
And where are you from?
I'm Anne, aka Rijketje, from Belgium, Antwerp. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter, but I'm mostly on Instagram. And my Instagram started with the love for the game, for Pokemon Go and for Pokemon. And actually, I found my passion again for photography through AR.
Oh, wow.
So
awesome.
when I found it out, I also found out that I really, really like photography, and I just combined them.
You know, that's a cool approach too. Again, with using the game as a way to, like, kind of like a bridge to your other, you know, creative outlets, and it all comes together with Pokemon. I mean, that's a rock solid thing. I think that, you know, same thing with Adam. You know, Adam combines his love for the TCG and AR, and, you know, I don't know, Adam, I don't know how many you've done of these cards, but this has become your style, man. I love it. I love what you do.
It's card of the day.
Card of the day. CAR, but the AR is AR for augmented reality. He's got like he needs to patent that.
Really patent that. I need to get something.
Adam, are you awake? Wake up, man. Wait, JC, wake this guy up, will you?
Man, I don't even think Sparks the Rescue would wake this fucker up right now.
They could.
He was getting fucked up.
And Bobby, what's up, man? Welcome.
Hey, Ken, how you doing? Thanks
Good.
for having
What's
me.
going on?
Not too much. Just it's early here. 9 p.m. It's nice.
Oh,
nice and
yeah.
early.
You got legit hours, West Coast hours.
Yep.
Oh, now I'm mesmerized by your background. Now that I have you on full screen, I'm looking at all your stuff.
Yeah, I figure, I couldn't just pick one. I love them all, so gotta post them all if I can.
No, that's awesome.
But yeah, no. My name's Bobby, Pokemon Snaps. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram's got the dot in between Pokemon and Snaps. Twitter doesn't. I got to figure out how to get that kid who's got Pokemon Snaps off of Instagram, because he got one post 6 years ago.
I love that Geodude.
Really? Yeah, that Geodude picture.
I love it.
Yeah, I know you liked it, Ash. I want people to not like his stuff so that Instagram gets him off.
Well, just report him as spam or something.
Oh, no!
No, I'm just joking.
One post 6 years ago. Dude,
okay, yes, okay. It's spam. The account is inactive. It's spam.
So here's a funny thing. So we rebranded,
Bobby.
right? Like, Gotta Watch Them All was our initial podcast, and that's kind of what I used to have as the whole blanket brand. And we rebranded to Pokemon Professor Network, right? So I changed everything over, and I changed the Instagram from Gotta Watch Them All to Pokemon Professor Network. And literally, I had like this whole to-do list of how I was gonna go back and resecure all the names and all this stuff. And within an hour of Gotta Watch Them All being down, someone snagged it, and it's a dude that sells watches. I was like, dude, it was an hour. I go, it was a freaking hour. He was like hitting F5 like for a year straight, like waiting for it to go away.
I'm not even mad about it. That's kind of clever.
Dude, no, he's got like a legit watch Instagram. Like, check it out. I mean, it's really dope. I mean, he's got all these high-end watches, and I'm like, dude, man,
he should sponsor you, dude.
Yeah, give me a freaking watch, man. My watch tan line is starting to go away because I haven't been rocking the watch. All right, well, that's everybody, right? Did I get everybody?
Yep.
Yes. All right. It's a party, so it's official. So this is our crew today, and some of the stuff I want to talk about is kind of I want to start talking about breaking into content creation, because one of the things that I love about AR photography is the accessibility, and I think that as far as subsegments of the game is concerned, the AR portion of the game is probably something that's done by the majority of Pokemon Go players, but not necessarily all with an artistic perspective. And I think that turning that casual use of, hey, I just need a buddy heart, so I'm going to take my picture, or I have a research task to take a picture with a buddy, and just someone snapping through it, versus someone like actually trying to compose a picture. I think that transition is a lot easier going from saying to someone like, hey, you should try PvP versus you should become a PvPer, or you should try doing a 1-star raid versus like, let's go do legendary raids. Like, it seems like that is a little bit of a bigger jump. And I kind of want to talk about the process of that for everybody and how, you know, how we got into that. We'll go into that a little bit. Then I want to talk about AR. And I think that we're all very, very excited because Niantic has been teasing lately with occlusion. And I mean, JC, when we did our first roundtable, that was, you know, over a year ago, I believe, we were talking about occlusion then, and we were really excited about it because they were kind of showing the what was it called, the playground mode or something, where they showed like the
Charmander, and they were walking around the stairs or whatever.
Yep. Look at this. I got 2 Justins now.
Yeah.
Pick him out. Remove.
He's so full of himself.
He's staring into my soul.
One is not enough.
Dude, my shit is crashing and I have no idea why.
I don't know. We've got 2 of you right now. I'm afraid if I
swear
boot
to
you
God,
up,
this time I'm not trying. Here, I just changed my name to Pop.
I know, but I feel if I remove you. All right, we're good. We're good. We're good. Yeah. So I want to talk about AR a little bit, and then I want to talk about the variety of styles. And even on this panel, you know, we have, you know, 12 people on this panel. There's a million different people that shoot AR photography, but even this 12, we see such varying styles of color palettes and landscapes and, you know, editing styles. So I want to talk about all that because from an accessibility standpoint, like we were saying with, you know, what Hex was saying about learning Snapseed and things like that could be a game changer to adding that little bit more of immersion and realism to the photos versus a completely raw shot. So I definitely want to talk about that. And then at the end, if there's some time, I want to talk about new Pokemon Snap because I know everyone's a little excited about what that could possibly be.
Yes.
So first, let's talk about breaking into content creation. And I'm pulling up my notes here, so forgive me if I'm not looking at the screen. I want to talk about the journey of becoming a content creator. Now, this is a little bit of a loaded question because anyone can say, yeah, I'm a content creator. That's what I do. However, I think really in the sense that I'm talking about is someone that is building their content around a brand and a name, and you might have, you know, social media accounts that are of a certain name that you're branding and pushing and things like that. And I think it was probably Pelo was one of the first that I really noticed. Was I was seeing the name and seeing the logo, like, and I started getting that brand recognition, and I was like, okay, this is kind of a thing. Pelo, what was that like for you? Like, did you, when you first started, was this just a creative outlet, or were you like, I want to make this a brand and push this as a name?
Well, I think when I started, I actually thought, oh, I'm never gonna go over the amount of followers my private account has. You know, like my private account has like 400 followers. I've gone a long way, and I just couldn't believe it. I think it all started when I was watching a video from Turner Tips, and he was like, "Oh, taking pictures and traveling must be fun." I was like, you know, I'm gonna try it, you know. And here I am. But how I became a brand, I think I was looking for a name and stuff, and over when I was at like almost 2,000 followers or something, I was like, okay, now I gotta get a name. Like I have a weird looking name, like I gotta make a logo or something, you know. It was a picture of my trainer in the profile picture. So I've been trying to get like formal and stuff, and it has gotten me places with some sponsorships and stuff in my local town, city, or whatever. And I just didn't think it would go like this far, you know. But and I've seen a lot of my friends here. They have great logos, and they always have their name and their logo over here in the photo.
Right,
And
right.
it
A
looks
little
great.
watermark.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. It just happened. Yes.
You know, I'm looking at your virtual background picture, and it says your name in the side. That's an old picture from before Go Snapshot, right?
Yeah, that's the legacy.
Like the cat screen.
Legacy watermark.
That's so awesome. Remember that? You used to put your name in there. That was so cool.
Wish they would still do that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But all right, well, JC, what about you, man? Now I know that you have a background in photography and production. So when it came time to do something with Pokemon and make this all work, and I mean, your work has a very unique look to it. Where when I'm scrolling through your feed, it's like, oh yeah, that's JC's work. That's JC's work.
Mm-hmm.
So you had that congruency between the work itself, but with the whole pop punk Pokemon brand, like, how did that kind of come about? I mean, I know you're like pop punk music, but
Yeah, I mean, well, with the whole branding aspect of it, it wasn't really, I wasn't like actively trying to like create a brand, but at the same time wanted it to have a signature, if that makes sense.
sure.
You know, because like I know now people like scroll through the feed and that if they see one of my photos, like they don't even have to look at the logo, they just know it's just kind of my style. But that took, you know, months and months and almost years to develop that style. You know, if you go back to like my early work, it's definitely nowhere near that. There are hints of it, you know, but nowadays it's just kind of rhythmic to get that style out. And as for like the logo, that's just kind of, I literally just took the Pokemon font and then I used my graphic design skills to match that and just put pop punk on top of it, because I like pop punk music and I like Pokemon, and all just kind of fit my whole aesthetic. So that's kind of how that all came to be.
You know, that's actually a good point, and we can move over to Ash now, because Ash, when it comes to developing a style, right? You kind of had this transition. It's probably only a couple months ago now, right? Where you kind of shifted. I don't know if tone is the right word, or the palette. Just all of your work started to become much softer on the eye, and the blending of the Pokemon into the environment, it like dramatically changed. And now when I look at your feed and see this consistent feel, everything feels so soft. It just looks so soft and looks so kind of natural and blended. What was that like, and what kind of motivated you to create that consistency? Was it a branding thing?
Yeah, actually, when you scroll to my Instagram, I think the earlier work, you can see like almost every style you can see out there. Like I have like very saturated pictures, like non-saturated. We also had a lot of collabs, which meant that some pictures did not look the same like others on the feed. Then I thought like one day, okay, this feed doesn't look that nice when you scroll through it. So I was going for this softer feel in the edits, which make it like a more coherent like feel when you scroll through the post. Also, I think like these soft edits make the Pokemon really like fit in the environment. Like you cannot really see it like a cartoony layer, if that makes sense.
Sure. Well, I mean,
Yes,
I think
yeah.
that's especially even like when you think back to older styles of AR, when it was like the sticker AR, where it didn't matter
It's
where
like
your
a
camera's
2D
pointed, that
image.
thing's just centered right there, and it's like, yeah, that's not in the world. That's just kind
That
of,
was not so much fun.
that's kind of stuck to the screen. Like, it doesn't look like anything. But no, that's cool. I mean, I think that consistency, it almost lends an air of credibility to the artist and the brand, because like JC was saying, you can look at the work and recognize the artist. And I think that's like a chef's kiss of the artist. You know what I mean? To be able to say like, yes, my work will speak for itself. So that's very cool. Now, Anne, we'll go over to you, because you're talking about social media, and I think that social, especially Instagram, has kind of played a pivotal role in the development of just about everyone here, you know, when it comes to developing an audience and building a brand and getting your work out there. What's it like being creative, but then kind of having to manage social media? Because I think that's like a challenge for a lot of people. And, you know, it kind of is like a juxtaposition to the creativity where you have to be more operational.
Yeah, it was kind of hard for me, because I made an Instagram, but not with the intention of getting much followers and making my own brand or just creating my own style. I just did it because I loved it. And all of a sudden, I found out that I love photography and that I can manage it and combine it with Pokemon. So it was amazing. So I thought, hey, let's do this on my Instagram. And all of a sudden, the followers came, and I got to know Pelo and Ash, and all of a sudden it exploded, and I really didn't know what to do, because it's kind of scary when you have that feeling like, wow, I really need to post pictures now every day, every week. What do I do? And at first I felt pressure, and it's kind of hard because you're watching your followers go and come again and go, and at some point it felt like I lost my passion, and then I was like, no, stop. I really like doing this, and I'm doing this for me because I love it. And if people love my work, they love it, and if they don't, they will go. So that's when I really thought, like, no, I don't have to post every day. I don't have to put pressure on myself, and I just do what I like. And that's a great feeling. And if you use social media because you just want to share your work without the pressure, that's amazing. Because I met a lot of friends, like everyone here, and I feel very grateful for it because I love the community. So.
No, that shit. I wish I could have that perspective sometimes, because I feel like I'm breaking my ass at all times, you know, on social. I'm plugged into the matrix 24/7. You know what I mean? Like I'm always plugged in. I feel like I can't get away from it. So that's very refreshing to hear that. And I think that's a great approach. Now, Pokemon Artographer, we were talking about this yesterday a little bit, kind of how the Pokemon in general, even, it kind of allows the community to have ebbs and flows of engagement. And you know, that's something that, like, with work and life and, you know, just everything, it kind of makes it possible to do that as a creator. Now, it's when you're trying to build a brand, that it's a little bit harder, because if you draw away too far, you could lose those fans, and then it's going to be an uphill battle to get them back. But I mean, for you, you've got this incredible backdrop, you've got this incredible setting. I mean, do you think you're like the geographic location that you're at, or the content of the photos themselves? I mean, does that kind of, I'm going to use your word, JC, does that trump kind of the necessity for being consistent on social, or are you able to still maintain that, look, I'm just doing this as a creative release, and I want to be able to express myself. I'm not gonna crush myself if I don't post something today or tomorrow. Like, it'll get up when it gets up.
No, I totally agree with what Anne was saying, that it's easy to get lost in the sea of followers and likes, and just lose your passion because you're doing it for the like. But when you're doing this because you enjoy the photography, you're doing this because you enjoy playing the game, it just becomes a natural process. And posting on social media, I mean, yeah, if you're trying to build a brand, if you're trying to maintain that, you definitely want to be consistent. You definitely want to be relevant. Like we were saying yesterday, that, as you said, it's an evergreen, it's evergreen, that you can constantly come back and forth with it, and it's always gonna be relevant. But if you've got new Pokemon being released and events going out, then posting photos that are tied to those events or those releases are going to be a little bit more helpful in catching those likes and those followers. But as far as, like, for my backdrop, I think just it's definitely, I'm fortunate enough to have not just a beautiful location, but there's actually some varied spaces out here. I've got things from, like, of course, the tropical rainforest and the beautiful cliffs and sunsets, but I've also got, like, there's a lot of old buildings, old sugar mills and churches that are, like, dilapidated and stuff like that. So you got that kind of, like, nice rundown look too. So there's a few different looks that I can access out here.
Nice. And Nico, what about you, man? Tell me about Tokyo, because I think that some of the most creative stuff I've seen seems to be coming out of Japan when it comes to pushing the expectation of what AR can be, especially with people doing, like, really wild stuff with video and just manipulating the tools that we have to do stuff that you're like, how, this is the same game that's in my hand right now. Like, it just doesn't seem right. What's Tokyo like, man? It's gotta be nuts.
Well, everybody knows Tokyo is great. Tokyo is actually really cool. I wouldn't live anywhere else now. But yeah, actually, more than being a content creator, I'm more a content creator supporter. And this is how I really started. I really loved what other people were doing, like everybody in that room, and then also in Japan. And so I really wanted to support as much as possible and encourage people to do even more. That's why I did, it's all in Japanese, but I did a lot of events with the AR team, because they're very creative, but they don't really know how to put it out, you know, so they just do it, but not necessarily not really how to communicate about it. So my role was to really encourage them to post more, we do a lot of contests, we do a lot of events and things like that. Well, less now, obviously, but you know, but that's will come again eventually during the summer. And being in Tokyo, yes, you have so much opportunity when it comes to taking a good picture. You know, any background is great in Tokyo. You know, whether it's especially at nighttime or you know, or within the center, or even, you know, going into like a temple or things like that. Everything suddenly comes out really nice. So yeah, so I think, you know, I came to that first really more as a supporter rather than being a creator. And now, like Anne said at the beginning, you know, it's easy to fall into like the social media like and retweet, or you know, or share on stories and stuff like that, and then try to say, okay, why does this not work? You know, why, what, and so on. So, but you know, that's why I don't post that much. You know, I really post when I want, when I feel like it, and not necessarily because I need to, or because, you know, just to make sure I keep up my, you know, my work in the feed of everybody. So so in that sense, it's, you know, as long as I enjoy doing it and I can support the community in Japan, mostly for the time being, but also some of the international people as well. And I'm happy and I enjoy it very much.
Man, I gotta say, it's such a different vibe than like the YouTube community. It's
Yeah.
like, you know, and Adam, I'm sure you could speak to this too, because like we work with so many different styles of creators, and it's overwhelming the collaborative and, you know, reinforcement that this community has for itself and each other. It's incredible. Like everyone just wants to help. Like it's wild. Like
yeah, when we first met JC, that was just like hey, let's sit back and have a tutorial on how to do everything. And it was and to this day I still use everything that he taught me.
I remember we did a call with JC. We're trying to explain to him how we wanted to put photos in cards. And then Adam had like a piece of cardboard with a Sharpie. He drew like a card on it. Like it was so funny. We're doing like a FaceTime call, you know, it was, but it was like, we didn't know you. You know, we knew you a little bit here and there online, but you're like, dude, I'll help you. Like, let's get on a call. Yeah. Let's do it. And that vibe has just been consistent, like throughout, like all of my experiences with AR people, because it's just like everyone is so helpful. It's pretty wild. Now, Bobby, I want to come to you because, you know, you've done work on It's Super Effective, another Pokemon Go or a Pokemon podcast that covers everything, and you're kind of like the Pogo voice on that show. I mean, I know SBJ now has become like a real Pokemon Go head, but yeah. What's it like working and being around people where Pokemon Go may not be the focus, and then not only that, but being so passionate about a specific subset of Pokemon Go in that environment when you're talking to people that are used to the main series games, or, you know, work in Pokemon Bank and all that stuff. Like, is that you ever feel like an outcast or anything like that?
I did at first, for sure. I was listening to SBJ's pod for Effective, and I started taking pictures at the beginning of 2018, I think, when AR Plus was kind of new. I think AR Plus came out in December of 2017, and then I started taking pictures and stuff. And yeah, I started sharing them within, there's like a Slack community within that It's Super Effective group. And people were like, hey, these are kind of cool. Like, how do you do this? What are you doing? And I was like, oh, maybe I'll just, you know, make an Instagram about this. Cause, you know, I started off I was an automotive photographer for a few years. And when I had a son, I was like, I couldn't travel as much to go to these car shows and do these things to actually photograph these cars. And so I kind of dropped off of that. And I was like looking for a way to use my passion of photography with something else that I was into. And then AR Plus came along and it was like, oh, okay, well, let's try this out and see how it goes. But, you know, being in that community with a lot of fans of like the main series or the anime or the TCG, and being that guy that was like, I'm really into Pokemon Go. And they're like, they had like a, you know, there is not a great, it's better now, but in 2017, 2018, there wasn't a great, like, what's the word? Pokemon Go community didn't have as great of a, they weren't liked as much as like the regular Pokemon community.
Yeah.
I don't know how to like say that.
They were like the rollerbladers in the skateboarders world. It was like
yeah. Yeah, and like I think that it came from the fact that Pokemon Go was so popular when it came out that it attracted everyone, and it created this community of people who weren't the, I want to say niche community of Pokemon, but like that's not really, I mean, they're like the biggest media franchise in the world. So, but yeah, it was different than like the diehard Pokemon main series fans. And so I did feel like a little bit of an outcast, but the more that I mean, because I also like the main series. I also like the anime. I like the TCG. I don't play competitive, but I like collecting the cards. So to be able to relate and then bring them to Pokemon Go and be like, hey, there's a lot of aspects of this game and this community that are also great. They're not, everybody doesn't suck in this community, I promise you.
Right.
And, you know, and then to get the ear of SBJ and to talk to him more and him realize like, hey, maybe you could be on the podcast and you know, talk more Pokemon Go. It was cool because it was like, I can bring this to more of the masses, I guess, right? Like this idea that the Pokemon Go community isn't garbage by any means. It's a wonderful community that, you know, there's a few loud voices that make it whatever, but it's a great community. And so just being able to put that into the podcast while keeping the Instagram going and showing people, one, the how good this community is, and then how beautiful what you can make from it as well, you know? So, and it's worked out well.
Nice. Well, let's talk about AR at large here. So I think that we were just talking about the old sticker AR and just how, you know, like the majority of people probably don't have Niantic AR, you know, turned on. They just have, you know, they got to feed their berries, you know, they got to take their snapshot. They just want to do it 1, 2, 3. But in the beginning, that was all we had. Like, and Hex, I know that you've been doing this for a while. Like, what do you think that the development of AR, like from the sticker AR that we originally had to AR Plus to now we're like on the precipice of occlusion actually coming out in the game. How much of a game changer do you think this next phase of AR's development in game with occlusion, like, is that going to like just kind of change everything for this community?
I mean, it's definitely going to help. I unfortunately did not get, I don't know if anyone here actually did get the occlusion, like the beta test. I did not. I was
no,
nobody. Yeah, of course. It's like a million people got it who've never, like you said, never opened AR Plus, probably have it sitting on their phone and they don't even know it. But I think a big part of it's just going to come down to how good it is in the beginning. I'm sure it's going to get there. Some of the screenshots I've seen from people who do have it, like, it's still one of those, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not great. Like I saw one and it's like it's with a tree, but it's like the gap between the Pokemon and the tree is just
too
like
big.
So noticeable.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like, yeah, it's cool, like if you're one of the, especially if you actually play an AR, which every once in a while I turn it on to do it. I actually play and catch and play do like the sneak up on your buddy thing just because it's like, why not?
Dude,
I don't do whatever I want.
I'm slacker, dude. I don't even remember the last time I did that. Like I'm terrible, man. Like I forgot like the little warning sign it would give you, like you're making too much noise, or
dude, you gotta get that bonus little extra bit of
dude.
dust,
I totally
you need it. PvP such a sink.
Oh man, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. But JC, I know you're psyched on occlusion, man. I think that's, you know, we've been having this conversation for over a year for sure.
Over a fucking year, Christ. Yeah. I'm pretty stoked for it, but like Hex was saying, just kind of like man, I wish that gap was, less. For me, when I first heard about it, I was like, okay, this is going to be a game changer. It's going to be crazy. But a lot of us, I mean, I hate to speak for everyone, but I feel like I kind of can in this perspective, is that we all already do our own occlusions. We already cut stuff out or put stuff behind things. This will just like make it a little easier. That's about it now. So I'm not as excited as I once was. I think it'll be really fun, and maybe it'll just start sparking some like new kinds of things I never saw. Maybe some accidents will happen and create some gold. You never know. Sometimes you get that Midas touch on total accident.
Right. And Origato, what about you, man? I noticed in your work that your Pokemon are like front and center. They're large, but they still blend with the background. Like when you do your, and we'll get into editing in a second, but like even the Caterpie that's behind you. So the edits that you're doing, are you doing them on phone? Are you pulling the images out? Like what's your process?
So I guess, I mean, to be honest, like, I'm a shiny hunter, right? I'm a PvPer, right? And Atlanta Strong, when shiny comes out, I'm out there. I got 4 phones right now, instance going for the Nakata right now. Congrats to you, Pelikogo, for shiny Nakata on stream. But
I just got one.
No.
Congratulations, Adam. Well, so for doing AR, like you grind, you get the shiny, and then you post it in your Discord. Hey, I got a shiny, and then it's like, well, who cares? So what? On the next one, a week later, and I wanted to have some way to commemorate the grind that it takes to get these damn things, right? 10-month hustle for a Growlithe needs more than this. Hey, guess what, y'all? Shiny Growlithe. I want it front and center. I want it the way I want it. I want it to look popping, awesome, all the colors, to make it worth the effort to catch the damn thing. And what happened is it became a style, and it became something that people in Atlanta have really appreciated. So yeah, I guess I wanted to be right there. It took me a year to catch the damn thing. I wanted to be,
completely understand that.
And mostly it's going to be the shiny, because damn it, they're awesome, and
and they do more damage in battle.
They do more damage.
That's great. Now, Tula, looking at your picture with the Bulbasaurs back there. So tell us about that image specifically. So how did you create this one?
Yeah, I'm happy enough to have a great community and absolutely great friends which support me. And yeah, we just went on a hiking trip, and there was this river, and it reminded me actually of the scene from Detective Pikachu, and we were like, let's put Bulbasaur there. He would fit perfectly, and yeah, that's just as I said, that's what my work is actually about. I'm just showing my everyday Pokemon trainer life, like what I do with my friends or with my Pokemon if they would be real, and just take a little break from the real world and enjoy what the AR can make it a better world in the end, because I just want this damn cute Pokemon to be real. So
don't we all?
I try to make that happen.
So was that photo shared AR experience, or was that?
Yes.
Oh, it was.
On my feed, I added the original.
All right, I gotta check
and
this out.
it was really hard to get them all smile at the same time. It was like, okay, now pet it.
So that's all right. So that's now that adds another dimension, and that's definitely something I wanted to talk about too, because this goes into the development of AR and how we've seen AR change and develop over the years. From now that we have this shared AR experience, that it is I did a couple shots, and it's super fun, but it adds another layer of challenge to making it all work.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely tough. And I think that in like the in-game tools, the in-game methods of doing things to make your photos look unique, only they can kind of balance what you could do practically with other tools. And I think, Ash, that's something like we brought up the Mew with the sphere. Now, that's like something that's pretty unique too, where you're actually using outside photography techniques or outside, you know, items to manipulate the photos that you're using from in the game. I mean, how did that kind of come about?
The Mew shot actually came from first Pokemon Snap. I got the inspiration from there. So there in the last level, you have to photograph Mew with like floating in a transparent ball. And that's where I got the inspiration from that. So on my Instagram, because I did these Pokemon photos, I always got like advertisements from Lensball. Hashtag not sponsored. And they advertised like, oh, these lens balls are cool to get like your city in another perspective. And I was like, hey, this looks similar to like the ball like Mew is floating in Pokemon Snap 1999. So I thought that might be cool. But unfortunately, I think a couple of months ago, Pokemon Go decided to disable this invisible Mew. So actually, I hadn't caught my Mew for like 1 year. So I waited like 1 year to catch it, because then only you could have this transparent vision of the Mew. But now it's gone, so I cannot take any more of those shots. Same with
Legacy
yes.
photos.
Yeah. It's actually same with Celebi. Like you remember maybe my photos like with the swirl, like a green swirl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the hands.
Yeah.
Dude,
Actually, my goal
love
was
those
to get
Celebi
like every photographer I meet to get a picture of them with like their hands opened and the Celebi in the center. But also, I think like a month ago, Pokemon Go decided to disable this feature. So, but yeah, I think these are some cool ways to like enhance what you can do with like a normal 2D or 3D image in the environment, like putting these objects next to it. And I think also like the Japanese community is really, really good in this. Like I saw, if you remember, Riso Kichi, she did like a bowling thing. Like she had
Oh my god!
Yes.
Oh wow,
yeah.
the
And
deal.
she also
so
did
talented.
like she showed how she did it. So she had all the, how do you call it in English? Like the cones.
Pins.
Yeah, the pins.
Yeah, the pins.
And she had like a rope, and she pulled the rope at the moment that the ball was rolling. So the sphere was rolling. So it looked like the Pokemon was hitting the pines. So it's really nice.
So damn creative.
It's a whole another level. So
that's some of the stuff I'm seeing coming out of Japan. Like the dude that did the Tauros charging, you know, and kind of
with Hide,
yeah, it was like the creativity and the coordination from the person shooting, the person acting, and the Pokemon. It was like the stars are aligning for the shot. It was amazing.
Yeah,
and you know that's definitely a unique thing. And now I got a question for everybody, and I don't know if anyone here is going to say yes to this, but are there any Ingress players here?
I've dabbled in a little bit, but
fucking crickets. All right,
Level 4.
You're alone, Ken.
No, look, portal scanning.
We're going for that.
Portal scanning has been in Ingress for a couple months now, and it's starting to roll out. Like I actually have the button in my game. I don't know if it's in everyone's menu yet.
I've used the Pokestop scanning a few times.
Okay,
nice.
So the Pokestop scanning allows you in AR to pretty much 3D map a stop, and ultimately this is Niantic's grander vision of building this AR mirror world of everything mapped in AR. And ultimately what it does is it helps the game identify through I forget what the term is, but allowing it to understand where real world locations are in terms of GPS and how they relate to the foreground, the midground, the background, and the items around it. So when you're filming it and you're scanning it, you're actually walking in a 360-degree motion around the item if you can, so the game can map all that stuff in a real GPS space. And when I think of things like that and how the Pokemon Go or the Go Snapshot community can kind of benefit from the game itself understanding better how AR works and how AR functions, I'm wondering if when Pokestop scanning comes to the masses, if the AR community will jump onto this, because it kind of will have this fringe benefit of improving occlusion and improving the way that our AR assets can kind of behave and act in the real world. So it's kind of like Wayfarer, where you do these benefits of Wayfarer, you're expanding your community, and then you get to reap the rewards because you get new stops. Where the same thing with portal scanning or Pokestop scanning, it's like, yeah, you do it, you're helping Niantic, but ultimately you're going to help the tools that, will help the game, learn AR a little bit better. So there's just, I'm fascinated by how Niantic is pushing AR. And, what was the name of that company, 660 AI, that they just kind of acquired or brought into the fold? That they're able to actually real-time map things in AR on consumer class mobile devices, which is like phenomenal to see it in action. It's pretty wild.
I'm sure once AR occlusion comes to more players or the masses, we'll have more of a drive to do that. Because I started to mess with it, and I was like, I can only go like halfway because there's a giant bush on the other side of the moose.
Right,
so it's
right.
like,
so
I'm not trying to get ticks.
Well, what about, all right, let's talk about what we would like to see out of AR. We know what we have and what's coming,
Oh,
but
shit.
I know that there's like, for me, it's selfie mode. Like, why don't we have selfie mode? Like, you think of Snapchat and TikTok or whatever that have these, very strong AR functionality in front-facing cameras. Like, do you think that we'll ever see that and go? And
it could be because of occlusion, though. Once we get occlusion, they'll be able to like take away our body and then have like Delibird behind us.
Right.
It's got to be Delibird, though, right?
It's got to be Delibird, not this war turtle.
Nobody
Sorry,
likes
war turtle.
Delibird, Adam.
No one else.
Only Adam likes Delibird.
No, Delibird's great. Adam, I love Delibird. Come on, Team Delibird.
Thank you.
Halo, if you had one AR wish, what would it be?
Oof. Offline AR, I think that's
Yes.
just my thing. Like,
Yes.
me traveling, and I remember horrible times going to, well, it's natural. Like, here in Mexico, it's a third world country. Many places don't have the best connection. So we like, sometimes I struggle in like high places or outside of the city. And when I travel and I go to places like India or other third world countries like Mexico, it's hard to get in the most beautiful places. They're normally not, they don't have like cell phone service and the huge like big technology towers, whatever. So offline AR would be amazing. And
Wow.
I think
I'll take that for granted, man. Like, that's a great point. And like, even hearing the room go like, oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Like, it's just something I completely take for granted because I'm so spoiled, because I've got like, tri-state solid, cell reception everywhere I go around here. So that's very, very interesting. I definitely need to take that less for granted. I think you were telling me you were in Egypt or something, right? And you had to like borrow someone's hotspot, like some stranger's hotspot, so you can get a picture.
Actually, yeah, in the Taj Mahal in India, and I had to ask a stranger, like, "Hey, could you like share with me the data?" And he had a 2G network. 2G network. I had to go into wild AR. I took one picture. That's it. The game crashed. Like, there was one Pokemon clicked and then it crashed.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
And there it is. Yep. It's in my Instagram. So
nice. Nico, what about you, man? Anything like from an artistic perspective, anything that you wish AR could do?
Well, yeah, I'd like to have some sort of the quality of, I'm using like an iPhone 10, so it's not bad, but the quality of the picture, of course, the Pokemon is coming out perfectly, no problem. But what I have in the background, even if it's not moving or anything, it's just not the same quality as like I would take it just with the in-app camera of the iPhone. So I have to edit it, and I would love just to have the in-app camera just to fit perfectly within, so I could just not even have to edit it at all, or maybe just lighting or things like that. But I have to like sharpen and things like that because it looks not as I would expect it. So I would like to have an improvement on that from the from Pokémon, from the company.
Yeah, it could be a little grainy, the backgrounds, especially if the lighting isn't there. You get like some serious
or
like
night shot.
glazing and
you can't take night shots unless you have to. You do a massive edit afterwards.
Yeah,
so, it's just unfortunate. Just the way it's like that's just something that's just unfortunately never probably going to change because just the way it is, like because the Pokemon isn't really there, so you can't actually take a picture of it.
Not with that attitude.
I mean, it's just
that's just Ryan.
It's just an advancement in phones that's just not gonna happen.
And what about you? Any wish list things for AR?
Yeah, I think taking a sharper picture when it's darker, or that you can place the Pokemon when it's darker, because I'm having issues with placing Pokemon even when it's dark.
Oh yeah.
And I think I can speak for all of us that we tried it, and
it
almost doesn't work.
Yep.
And then the selfie mode, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, my son plays Jurassic World Alive, another GPS-based location game that has PvP. It's very functions great, and it has a very robust AR portrait mode. And I know that there's some red tape when it comes to perspective and proportions with Pokemon, and Pokemon Company's very strict about the Squirtle's got to be the size of the Squirtle. They don't want you to, make this Stay Puft Marshmallow Man like size Squirtle. But people have learned ways to kind of manipulate with, tiny Pokemon and all that. Yes, all that kind of cool stuff. But in this Jurassic World game, you can literally place the dinosaur wherever you want and pinch and zoom and make the thing giant, walk underneath it, walk under its legs. Like, it's not like sticker AR. It's actually full functioning anchored 3D AR. And
it's like if anybody's ever used Playground AR on Google phones.
Yeah. Yes.
And they have a Detective Pikachu download where you can place them wherever you want.
Anywhere.
And you can place them, you can size them, and not only that, but it also has realistic lighting. Like if you're in a dark environment, the Pokemon's going to look darker, but if it's like a lot brighter, it's going to look brighter, and it's got that same anchoring situation too.
That's a great point, because I think that, like, if we had that, you know what I mean, that would be something that would revolutionize the everyday photographer, the everyday AR photographer, because ultimately all photos would then just look better. You know what I mean? Because it's going to have the dynamic lighting and the ability to kind of be a little bit more precise with your photos. And I think that that's super important.
Definitely.
But I mean, what about video? Anyone here interested in doing some stuff with AR video? I think that might be something, we see a little bit more. And again, we're seeing it out of Tokyo a lot, or Japan at large. We're seeing a lot of cool stuff done with video. But anyone here playing with any video stuff?
Yeah, sure, trying to. And I was also inspired by
Ash,
the Japanese community once again. So I tried to make like a short movie, like 1 minute. I don't know if you saw it, but like with Charizard. I was trying to like edit a little bit, because I think it's really nice. Like you have the Go Snapshot, but you also have the Go Snap Video. So it's like a total different thing. And that's also what I want to connect with the last question. Like, what do we want to see in AR? It's like having the ability for Pokemon to like do attacks. Like, for example, you want the Charizard to do a flamethrower or something. You just push the button and it does the attack. And something like that would really help people to get on like the Go Snap Video thing, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you can kind of have a little bit more control, like as a director, of saying to your Pokemon like attack, instead of just having to like tap it or wait it out and wait for it to do its idle animations. Like that's what you want to catch.
Yeah, because sometimes you'll tap it and you'll miss it like that start attack. Like that's what you want.
Like 1
second. Just open a little bit.
And then you
Yeah.
got to wait for it to like cycle all the way around again.
Mhm.
It's like, what the hell is it going to do with stupid
Yeah.
yawn? Just yawn already, damn it. Come on.
And I think also with the blended reality that it will like really benefit if you can do stuff like that. Like for example, like I listened to the last podcast with Zoe. Like she said, like, oh, for example, now let the Magikarp submerge in the water, and then it's like it goes in the water, and you can like film it. So it would be really nice to see.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, that's all going to come with the ability of, you know, the intelligence of the phone being able to identify that stuff and make sense of it all, which, you know, I don't know, man. I think that we're really close to major breakthroughs with these mobile devices. I mean, we've already got these incredible computers in our pocket, but I think that there's, you know, some really cool stuff coming once 5G is the norm. And these, you know, things can just communicate with server side stuff a lot quicker. I think it's going to be a game changer for this type of processing and stuff that we do. But let's shift gears a little bit and talk about editing. And I think that this is a really important one because I'd first like to talk about this in the vein of talking to new photographers, because I think that there's a trap that a lot of people can fall into of over editing and, you know, hyper saturating. It's like, fucking turn all the sliders to 11. You know what I mean? And it's like, and before you know it, you have this like super muddy, grainy stuff. And it's like every so often, like Pokemon Go Hub will do like a raw edit, you know, an unedited photo challenge or something like that. And it's like, oh yeah, that's what this game looks like. And I can kind of get into that and appreciate that. So Hex, you're talking about Snapseed. I think that's probably one of the most, and Justin, I think that was one of the first ones you turned us on to.
Yeah.
Hex, is Snapseed like your
entry
shit?
level.
I think Snapseed is the best combination of user-friendly UI and the tools that it provides. It can't do everything. I even still, one of the things I just wish it did a little better was adding like the watermarks. I still port my Snapseeds to Adobe's Photoshop Mix app just to do that. Like that's all I do in it. I literally just take the picture, drop in the thing, like just turn down the opacity a little bit and just ship it off. But yeah, I think Snapseed's definitely the most user-friendly. I mean, it's just it's a step up from what your in-camera app will probably do, and it gives you some nice tools like what's the name of the tool that you can just do like the reflection. You can superimpose a second picture and cut all around it and like just kind of turn it down so it almost looks like a reflection if you put it over water or if you put it over a glass surface.
Right.
But then it also has all your normal, you know, brightness, contrast, saturation. My favorite tool, if you can't tell, is the sharpness. Messing with the sharpness. My cityscapes lend themselves very well to just turning that sharpness, as you say, all the way to 11 and just making it look really dope.
Oh, look at those fucking bricks behind you, man. They look legit.
Yeah.
That's all sharpness because that's what they look like. And I mean, maybe they look a little less, but I mean, if you were on a bright sunny day and walked up to brick, you'd see that kind of texture. And I mean, if I pulled up the original of that picture, it's just it loses all of that. Like you said, the camera is just not quite there yet when you have to take the screenshot, but it's fixable at least.
Yeah. Is anyone here on the panel do off phone editing? So importing taking the picture actually off the phone into the computer, doing your edits on the computer, bringing it back to the phone, and then posting on Instagram. Anyone doing anything like that?
Not a computer. I'll throw it to the iPad sometimes with the Apple Pencil to get more precise.
Interesting.
Because what I do is I use 3 different apps to edit usually. I use Fonto is the signature or for the watermark. I use Lightroom to edit the picture. So to get that first, like I have like a preset that I set up for to get the picture the way I want it to look. And then I use an app called Enlight, which now is called PhotoFox, I guess. They have a feature in their original app that is no longer supported or downloadable. That is now, it was a free feature in that app that is now a paid feature in PhotoFox. So I keep that app with me so I can use this feature for free.
What feature?
But it's the structure feature, like the structure option is like paid in PhotoFox. It was not in their original app.
It's like the depth. It's like depth, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So I use that on just the Pokemon. And so what I'll do sometimes if I want a more accurate like masking of the Pokemon is I'll throw it over to my iPad, and then I'll use the Apple Pencil to get a more accurate mask. So I'm not like hitting the outer area of the Pokemon, and then I'll throw it back to the phone for Instagram, since Instagram has yet to make a decent iPad app. So,
I think that's really important, and especially for people that are interested in getting into AR photography and ultimately playing with editing, is the fact that a lot of this stuff is done on phone, if not all of it. And I think, JC, one of the most inspirational things that you kind of pointed Adam and I in the same direction was like, you were like, I'm not paying $1 for any of these freaking apps. Like, I'm going to be able to, if I got to use 10 apps, I'm going to, but they're all going to be the free versions. And
or you're like, let me use the one app and let me save that one edit to the picture that I can do, and then just keep re-uploading it into it, so it's like the same photo uploaded, just different layers.
I'm not the only one, dude. Like anytime I edit one photo, it's seriously like, all right, edit, save, edit, export, edit, save, and then like I go back. By the time I get the final one, it's like at least 5 or 6 different runs through like 5 or 6 different apps till I finally get what I'm looking for.
But I think that's important for people to know, that it's very, again, it's accessible to do AR just within the game. But if you want to do crazy shit with edits and all that, it's like the tools are available for free on your phone. And I think that that's very, very important for people to know. And I'll put links in the description to all the apps that everyone's using, so people can give stuff a try. Because I think that getting everyone together like this, one of the cool things that typically happens after I do a roundtable is people will reach out and be like, you know what, I was on the fence about posting my first picture, or I was on the fence about giving this a shot, and then they do it. And it's like, I think we can kind of use this as a launch pad to talk about the AR community at large. And like what you're saying, you're more of like, someone who's going to be bringing encouragement to your community to get them to do more work. Or Ash doing things like contests or just different things to engage the community and keep them engaged, to the development of the AR fam on Instagram. I guess, Ash, tell us about the AR fam and kind of how that started. And, I'd assume that just about everyone here is in that chat. I mean, I don't know how I got my ass in that chat a couple of years ago, but I was just like lurking for a long time. And it's like, dude, I'm watching all this stuff go on. And it's like, on a daily basis, I'm seeing a lot of your names. I mean, tell us about the AR fam, Ash.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I think, like Bobby said, we started really posting like end 2017, start 2018. I think I only knew like Pogo, like Bobby, but not much more. Like I knew some Japanese people doing it. And then suddenly people started to roll in and the group became bigger and bigger. Like we had a group chat on Instagram, which you are in. And we're like, okay, there are 30 people, but this is a max and we want to add like 70 people more, but it's not possible. So it's really crazy. Like also we have a lot of contests like collabs. We have this weekly contest. For example, someone, I don't know who started it. I thought it was Epsilon.
It was Epsilon.
From Austria.
From Switzerland, I think.
Switzerland, yeah. I think she did like, let's do a Pokemon Duck Week or something, like photograph Pokemon next to a duck. And then, oh, nice. And then she chose the best picture. And this person could choose the next topic for the week. And I think this is an ongoing thing for like 2 years now. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it started beginning of 2019.
I think, okay, it's still a long time. And I never won. So I think it's time that I start submitting something.
Step it up.
Yeah, sure. And we have a lot of different hashtags, like, for example, and I know one of the first ones was like Pillow with Pillow Feature Friday or something. Am I correct? Yeah.
It's a Pillow Friday, a follower appreciation Friday. That's it.
Oh, yeah. He was like, okay. Yeah, he was like, send me your best picture by mail, and I will choose the best one on Friday, and then he would feature it on his profile. So, and that's things like that really started to get the ball rolling and get more people on the train of AR. And I think, yeah, nowadays, I think active people, like at least 200, like non-Japanese, maybe like more than 200. I don't know. Like
Wow.
active on Instagram.
That's awesome. And you know, again, the collaborative nature of just how supportive. I mean, I've never seen anyone post a photo and any criticisms come across in any way that could be thought of as negative. And I've seen outpourings of criticisms come to photos, but it's pretty incredible how everyone approaches the, you know, it's like this unified way of talking to each other and being supportive of each other and saying like, this is how I would have done it. Or like, you guys are exceptionally constructive without like stepping on anyone's toes. And that doesn't happen in a lot of different areas of Pokemon Go. I mean, it's typically, you know, a battlefield, you know what I mean? So it's it's very
also
refreshing.
a nice thing. It's a nice thing about the AR, like it's not good or bad, or like people have their own styles, so you do whatever you like, and yeah, it's different.
Yeah, that's
Now,
the key to AR, is like doing your own style and doing what you like, because there's no reason to do like for others, because we're all so different. So, and people, like, we all have similar followers, so you just do what you like, and you may not start off, it might not be like the best picture, but I mean, at the same time, like, the artists who are remembered for doing the most, they just do picture after picture after picture, and your style comes out of that, and it will look good and people will like it. And it may not be the exact person you want. I don't know, if you're looking for a specific person to like your picture, it may not happen, but people will like your stuff. You just have to keep putting it out there.
Yeah, and it's I'd imagine that with how welcoming the AR community is, that you know, I know people that have gotten into AR and, you know, asked for advice, and you guys have welcomed many people with open arms, and I think that that's another super important thing for people to know if you're interested in getting into AR, is that there's this community out there that's going to help you, you know, no matter what. It's pretty amazing. Now, Origato, you were recommended to me by Go Stadium. They you know, John, CEO, you know, the owner of Go Stadium messages me and he's like, dude, you got to check this dude out. And how did that relate? And also, it was Sea Princess sent me a message like 10 minutes before Go Stadium did, and was like, you got to check this guy out. Like, what like, when it comes to Go Stadium, that you did some work with them or put up some photos with them?
Yes. So I'm in PvPer. I'm a PvPer since day one. And I actually was doing raid day with John, right? Lapras Day. And I didn't really do Instagram quite there yet. I mean, you guys are like gods to me. I'm like a layman when it comes to AR shots.
Bro, your shit is dope.
Yeah.
Straight up, I'm gonna fucking say it. Your shit's dope.
Oh, I appreciate you, man. Real. But yeah, so and then one day, you know, so we battled after Lapras Day. I beat him, by the way. And like months later, he's like, "Hey, you still doing the AR shots?" I'm like, "Yeah, of course." You know, it's kind of like my side hustle. Like, oh wow, oh there it is. You know, and started doing the Go Stadium, and they would include my AR shots along with the their like battle tips. And the community, PvP community, loved it. And I mean, for me, it's like, I'm not really much of I didn't think anything more of the photos than just like, hey, you know, I'm out here, I'm in Philadelphia, I'm doing whatever, take a photo. But the community at large, I mean, you guys really just embraced me. And I'm a novice at all this. I just came in recently on the scene. And everything just blew up from there. And it's not about like the likes and the followers. It's just kind of like, I just think that Pokemon are incredibly amazing. The designs, the aspects, thinking about like having a grass flying thing called a Scyther, and the way it looks absolutely amazing. And being able to put that into a realm in which it looks real, it looks like it's actually flying at you. Or if you're a PvPer, like if you're gonna put in, a Snorlax into battle, don't you want to have that Snorlax like look at its most awesome dopeness, like coming at you with the shadow flames? You know what I mean? Like, just give me that itty gritty, like, oh, I want to put you into a freaking battle and have you, all that going on. And so, my style is just people who like the PvP and like the whole aspect of, I'm gonna take this Pokemon, I'm gonna train him his ass up, I'm gonna put him in the battle against you. I really wanted just to like put that into it. And like I said, the Go Stadium community, 13,000 strong on that Discord, they just completely, they're passionate about Pokemon, they're passionate about the community, and to see the Pokemon that they battle and train with every day and put into their 6-man teams or 3-man teams for GBL, and be able to have it in a way in which it looks authentic, it looks real, it looks like it's coming at you. It was just like a match made in heaven. And then for Sea Princess, shout out to Sea Princess, by the way, amazing photos, give her a follow. Atlanta community embraced me, and we started doing things like called AR excursions, where I would take a band of like 7 or 8 interested people who wanted to learn AR, and we would go to one of the best spots in the city just to take photos. And then afterwards, I would like, show them how to edit, show them how to post on Instagram. Not that like my stuff is amazing, but like just people want to do what they want to learn. And you're talking about like camaraderie, you're talking about like friendships, what it just became like a whole mini family here in Atlanta. People just coming up and, bringing their family along, sharing posts with their people who are sick in the hospital and can't get out. So I guess it just became like just another extension of the awesomeness that's Pokemon. And
it's clear, man. I mean, I think that, again, your story itself is kind of a metaphor for the AR community at large. You start doing something, you're motivated, and then your motivation is then there's this trickle down effect where you're bringing other people in that want to be motivated, and you use your motivation to motivate them, and then they're getting motivated because now they're capable of doing it. And I think that kind of relates back all the way, to the AR fam and how everyone supports each other, because it's just like everyone takes care of each other. I think that's phenomenal. And, Adam, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about was the same kind of thing, like appreciating the Pokemon for what they are. But with the TCG, like each TCG card is a piece of art. Yes. So being able to appreciate a card for what it is, and it's like you're not even using it to play the game. You're using it as, they're these little pieces of cardboard that are art. So being able to blend mediums and enhance the art that's already there, that's a cool dynamic as well.
Something small, like just a small little detail that I've been like trying to deal with lately is like, the beach is lined up with the actual card itself.
Okay.
And same thing with like the Joltik was on like or maybe it was the Weedle, I don't know, but the tree branch like coming into the card that I was like, because I'm far away from, from whatever I'm taking a picture of, but I'm going for the card.
Right.
And thinking about how that tree lines up with the tree in the actual physical card, and then editing, because I have the AR Pokemon popping out, and then you swipe and then you get the picture, which is an art itself,
right
of just the card.
Well, I think that speaks to the artistic integrity of working composition into these photos, because it's like it goes beyond just like getting your buddy heart. You know what I mean? There's a lot more that comes down to it, and I think that everyone here does an amazing job of bringing these Pokemon to life. And I just from talking with everyone tonight, it seems that we all have that youthful innocence of creation of saying, we just love Pokemon. and they're really freaking cute, and we want them to be real. And it's like these these photos have become this extension of our desire to see these Pokemon in the real world, and it's probably the closest thing that we'll ever see, because it's, especially with through editing and stuff like that, I mean, they look like they're there. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it's pretty amazing. But I do want to get wrapped up, guys, because we got a little bit long, and it's like freaking, you know, almost 2 a.m. here on the East Coast. But thank you, everyone, and we're gonna give everyone a chance to say their goodbyes and all that. But guys, this has been very informative, and I always get so motivated every time I talk to the Go Snapshot community, man. You guys always make me feel so positive, like I want to get out there and help people. And that's I've learned as a creator that surrounding yourself with people that have that mindset is exceptionally powerful and exceptionally
it's
positive.
contagious.
And it's very contagious, because I want to help people now, and I want to be able to direct traffic. And I think that that's something that the Pokemon Go community does pretty well. You say like, hey, I have a need for something, or I need help. Who can I talk to? And we've got people that we can send and say, hey, you want to learn about Snapseed? Go over here. You want to learn about lighting? Go over here. You want to learn about PvP? Go over here. And I think that that's very important. And you guys have all really shown, and you're very strong representation of what the Go Snapshot community is all about. So I'm very happy that everyone was here, because you guys are a nice vertical slice of what positive Pokemon Go community can be all about. You guys represent the game and the brand very, very well. So let me go around the room here. Please plug your stuff. Let us know where we could find you. I'm going to put links to everyone's pages and Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff will be in the description of the podcast, in the YouTube. This will be out on YouTube in a couple days. It'll be out in audio format a couple days after that. But we're just going to go around the room one final time, say goodbye. Ash, thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can our community find you?
Thank you for having me. So you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, @SketchUp. Don't forget the Z after the T. I also have a small Discord server. You can check it out too. I also have some merch, so feel free to check it out. You can find it
plug the merch.
In my bio on my Instagram. So thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate you being here. Tula,
Yeah.
I'm now I'm looking at those Bulbasaur, and I'm like, that is a freaking shared AR experience shot. That is, damn.
Beautiful.
Damn, that's so awesome.
good.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for being here. Where can the community find you?
Yes, thank you. The community can find me on mostly Instagram. I have a Twitter account, but I'm not that active there, so Instagram is best. And also I wanted to say we still have this Pogo Photo Discord server. I know you talked about that one last year in one of your podcasts with Mortal Adventures.
Yes.
And it's also a good place for people who are interested, who want to start, just reach out, and you can always join the Discord, and we are happy for people to join. And yeah.
Excellent. I'll make sure I get that link and put it in the description as well.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that. Palo, my man. Palo, man, I had the pleasure of meeting you in Chicago last year for GoFest. It was phenomenal. I'm so glad that you're here, man. Where can we find you?
Oh, thank you for inviting, first of all. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. It's @PeloPogo, so PELOPOGO. And my DMs are open to anyone that wants to learn. I've been well received and well taught by many people here. X, Ash, Pop, Pokemon. So I'd like to offer the same thing to anyone. And I'm pretty sure that anyone here accepts the same thing. So if anyone is listening and is interested, just send a message to any of these people, and they'll help you out as they have helped me.
That's great, man. So positive. It's so great. I got to go help an old lady cross the street or something. It's amazing. Arigato, man. Where can we find you?
Instagram, project_Origato. Twitter is Origato Project. I wish I could reverse or get you know what I mean? But yeah, DMs are open. Battle me, PvP if y'all want to get rocked. I'm kidding.
Yo, Bhatt.
I'm adding you tonight, man. I'm adding you tonight.
I am coming for you, sir.
Come on, let's go. I wanted this shout out to Go Stadium for this recommending me for this podcast. Sea Princess as well. The Atlanta family, Star-Lord as well, if he's watching. Everybody who has messaged me and said that my photo encouraged them. Some of you in this panel, I have reached out to personally for tips. You know who you are. I appreciate you. For somebody who's just kind of like coming up in the community, finding his way through, you know, going through the same emotions you guys are going through about like likes and follows or whatever, or the process or the pressure. I feel you. End of the day, we're all here because we love Pokemon, and you know, you're right, Ken. This is an awesome community, and I'm so glad to be part of it.
Awesome, man. Well, we're glad you're here. Thank you so much again for coming
Definitely.
on the show. Nico,
Yeah.
tell us, man, where can we find you?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me today again. And then you can find me on Instagram through Snapdemo. That will be my name on Instagram. And I have a different name on Twitter, which I have a bigger community, which is LPOG Tokyo. And yeah, I wanted to give a message that, you know, there's a very massive AR community in Japan. And well, they're not, I represent them in a way a little bit here, but if anybody is listening wants to get in touch with them, I'm happy to facilitate as well. They have a lot of, they're super creative, really. Like every time I see something, like, why did I think of it? You know, like how, you know, why, how they do that? Like, and so, you know, even if any of you wants to communicate, I know there's the barrier language. That's probably the reason they're not here today, but I'm happy to facilitate that and to help as well and try to bring people together. Hopefully we'll get to bring everybody someday, whether it's in Japan, whether it's somewhere else at the Go Fest or anything, you know, that would be really amazing. So yeah, thank you very much again for, you know, for everything. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Absolutely, man. Thanks again. Pokemon AR-tographer. Man, I want to go to Hawaii, dude.
Yeah, we'd be happy to have you, man.
I want to go, man. I want to go. But we're outside of Hawaii. Where can we find you?
I want to say again, thanks for having me, man. It's been a blast here. It's been a complete honor. On Instagram, I'm Pokemon AR-tographer. On Twitter, PKMN AR-tographer because of those damn username links.
Yep.
Yeah, you can find my work there, and I post photos on both mediums, and on Twitter I tend to post a lot of other things, Pokemon news and latest catches, stuff like that.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And Hex Manifesto, dude, look at those bricks. The bricks are dope.
Who likes bricks, guys?
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram as well, mostly Hex_Manifesto. Also Twitter, same, but it's more of a mixed bag of video games and Pokemon and other things. Also, thanks for having me, and thanks to this great community. Really upset that we don't get to meet up this summer at Go Fest. I know I met you, Ken, Palo, Justin last year.
Yep. All the bro hugs.
Was really looking forward to it again this year. Actually, one of the biggest things I have to thank this community for, actually, most of you know her, Mythical Lay Snaps, and I have been dating for 8 months now.
You guys are fucking disgustingly cute, man.
Yeah, I know. We met 100% through AR, and I thought we were all going to get together this summer.
Yeah, you're as subtle as a brick in the smell of my back.
AR love.
I told her I'd only embarrass her a little bit. So.
Oh, Mythical, we miss you.
She's sleeping.
Oh boy.
All
Dang
right.
Canadians.
Most of the world
finally
is
going back to work.
Oh shit. Well, Hex, thanks again for being here, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And with the score, dude, I'm loving the score bunny. I can't get over the score bunny. Is that a plush or is it like a figure?
It's a plushie.
Oh, man.
From Pokemon Center in London.
It's the official.
I have plush problems. I love
It's
plushes.
the official from the Pokemon store in
cute.
London.
Adorable.
Yeah,
Adorable.
If you watch Journeys at all, score bun.
Score bun. Awesome. But Anne, where can we find you?
you can find me on Instagram and Twitter. On Instagram, it's Pogo_Rijketje, so it's Pogo. And I really want to thank you for having me. It's been an honor. And I really love the community. So guys, you're all great. And I hope we can meet up soon.
You're great.
Definitely.
Yo, whatever it does happen, it's going to be a party. I'll tell you that. Everyone's going to, it's going to be, oh shit, Nico, look at that plush, man. Oh man.
Woo.
Man, I don't have anything within like
Japanese
arm's reach right now. I don't have any good stuff.
All I have is a Santa hat Pikachu and a deli bird. So,
Look,
I mean,
everyone's got
everybody's seen
plushies,
those.
man. Oh, Palo's got the
Ooh.
Dex. Yo,
Nice.
Palo's got the good.
I have the biggest one.
Oh,
Oh, winner, winner.
I have a
Oh, that's
DC
awesome.
World Championship deck box. I guess does that count?
Nerd.
You can't cuddle
Oh my
with that.
Yeah, you can't get Adam. I'm sure Adam like dumps all his cards on his bed every night and does like snow angels in them. Like,
Ken, don't give out my secrets, all right? Some people are into certain things, and that's one of the things that I like. So
All indecent proposal with those cards.
exactly.
Perfect world.
they have
with,
to
like,
be
all
mint
just deli bird
condition.
cards.
before I get into the mixing of them.
Oh, Bobby, man, what's going on? Thank you again for being here. Why don't you let our community know where they can find you?
Yeah, no, thank you for having me for sure. I'm on Instagram and Twitter. Instagram is pkmn.snaps, and then Twitter is pkmnsnaps. Instagram, obviously, all my photos. Twitter is a little bit more of a mixed bag. You'll see Pokemon, tech, horror movie news, things like that there. So it's a good time. And then I am sometimes on a podcast called It's Super Effective. So definitely check that out. It's not just what we were saying earlier. It's not just Pokemon Go. It's kind of the Pokemon universe. So check that out if you're interested. But yeah, no, thank you again for having me. And, to this community, like Ash was saying, like when I started doing this in 2018, beginning of 2018, like there weren't a lot of people doing it, or it wasn't very, you just weren't seeing it, and so there was just a few of us, I feel like, and it's just grown so much, and there's so much good content out there. There's so many good people to follow. And, even people who are just starting out, like, I mean, Project Arigato, you're sitting there saying like, oh, man among gods or whatever, but like your stuff is so good. And like,
That canopy's entrancing, man.
There's just so many good
It's
photographers
dope.
out there, and there's so much good
dope.
content. And so, like Pelo was saying, and everybody, like my DMs are open, hit me up, ask for tips, ask for, what we can do, collaborate, things like that. I'm all open to it, because there's, this community is wonderful. And I don't think you could do this with every type of community. I think Pokemon is special, and Pokemon Go more so. So, thanks again.
Excellent. Awesome. Justin, my man. You can't come to Jersey soon enough, dude. What are we,
October.
4 months away now?
4 months away.
Dude, it's going to be on. It's going to be on like Donkey
hyped.
Kong.
I'm so hyped. Dude, thanks for having me on again. What is this, like the 5th time we've done this?
I don't know, man. You've been on.
Yeah, 'cause-
this is your third round table. Plus, we had you on the show.
Third round
proper.
table, 2 shows proper.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm just
man.
like a veteran at this rate, man. just make me a part of your show already. Shit. Sorry, I gotta readjust in my chair here because I got so much sunshine blowing up my ass from this damn podcast. There's so much love right now. I'm feeling I'm like the Grinch right now. That's just like completely full heart.
Yes, your heart grew 3 sizes.
More like 4.
Hey,
no, but dude, love everything you do. Love the support. What's that thing you always say about the ships and the tide?
yeah, when the tide rises, all the shifts get lifted.
There it is, dude. That is Ken in a nutshell. And dude, you're just like living, breathing embodiment of like success and positivity. And just anytime I talk to you,
Oh, look, his thing
Oh,
took a
no.
shot.
Yeah, right?
Oh,
Look,
Justin.
he was like being all
Fucking
sweet.
time.
Where did you go?
All right, the world doesn't want me to blow sunshine up your ass. I'll just do that. Fuck you, Ken. Eat a dick. No. No, seriously, everything you do, Ken, is seriously amazing. I love what you do for this community. I love that you do everything from tinfoil hats to bringing communities like ours, like the AR community together, to PvP, to just Pokemon Go in general. You are just a great big grab bag of gifts, man. Like everybody in this entire panel is so damn talented. I love each and every one of you. You always inspire me. I know I've been taking a break, but you'll see why, because something big is happening. I guess I'll tell you now. Because
Oh shit!
Yeah, we
Oh,
made
shit.
it through the whole
Now it's
the whole
today,
round table.
Right?
Yeah.
it is almost today. Which, by the way, fucking Bobby opened my gift.
Shit, you're right. You're right. Ah, shit. It'll happen.
Forget, motherfucker, dude.
Well, you have
I
an
have
egg
been
on?
haunting
Do
you.
you have an egg on?
I don't care about eggs. Just open the damn gift.
All right. All right. I'm gonna open it right now. I'm just gonna open it
Do
right
it.
now.
Do it.
Get this
All
done.
right. Fucking finally,
There
dude.
you
Good
go.
luck to the rest of you, because it took me 8 months to get this guy.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Only 8 months.
one thing I'm bad at is I will respond to any tips, but don't try to get gifts from me. I'm sorry, guys.
You're not alone with this.
You won't
Dude,
get any
literally,
gifts.
anytime I see him active on anything, he'll like comment on one of someone. I'm sure someone's seen me do it on their post, and I'm sorry for this, but it'll be like Hex will post a photo, and Bobby go, "Oh, this is really cool," and I'll go, "Oh, that's great, Bobby. It is a good photo. Oh, my gift."
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's the announcement, man? What are you working on? What do you got up your sleeve?
Gen 2, baby. I have been hard at work on Gen 2.
Excellent. Excellent. So you're going to do another playthrough?
Yes, I'm doing another playthrough. This time it will be
Hell
more
yeah.
consistent with less breaks. I already have, I think, 40 Pokemon shot right now, maybe 46, somewhere in there. So I'm halfway there. So I'm going to start that up tonight and start posting every day with my new adventure in Gen 2. So I'm very, very excited about playing through
Yes.
Silver.
Awesome, dude.
And
Awesome.
there's some really cool new locations I've gone to, new edits. Some of you guys follow me on Twitch, I have been doing some live edits on Twitch. So yes, you can follow me on Instagram at PopPunkPokemonYT. You can follow me on Twitter if you're brave at JCPix3, and I mostly just tweet about the Spice Girls and how I just desperately want them to go on tour. Everyone here can vouch for that. You can follow me on Twitch, Havoc Bandit, and yeah, that is me in a nutshell. Thank you to everyone who has come out tonight. Thank you for everyone who's got up early. Thank you all for your amazing, amazing content. Everyone here is worthy. I am not. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Well, all right, everyone. Thank you so much for everyone being here. Adam, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as always, my man, my partner in crime. But this has been a Lured Up Podcast Creator Roundtable for Go Snapshot. Thank you, everyone, for checking out the show. Please check out luredup.com for everything that we have going on. Check out PokemonProfessor.com for everything that's going on at the network. We got a lot of cool stuff happening, and we're going to be making some announcements pretty soon of some new stuff that we're doing. We're just constantly in an expansion mode, so we're going for it. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for listening.
Got tons of DLC coming.
We got DLC coming, and it's free DLC, so don't worry, everyone's gonna get some. But,
that's my price tag.
I know that. Free 99. That's what I'm talking about. But once again, everyone, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All the Wi-Fi hugs.
Take care, everyone. Thank you again.
Thank you.